Oh, wow. That was
Wow. Wow.
It's supposed to fade.
This is like your first tequila on a Friday.
I know, right?
Tequila. Oh, did you mean to do that? Nope.
No, I don't know what's going on with that button. And then and listen, I've got buttons. I've got 8 buttons that I already have these pre-planned songs on. Tequila's number 1, Birthday's number 2, Imperial March is number 3. I forget what the rest are. Anyways, I don't know why I got to hit this thing a couple times because I hit it. It's yeah. And I hit the button to make it fade in and out. I don't know what the problem is. Whatever. Good morning, Jason Galvin. Or is it morning? No, it's afternoon.
It's morning here. It's morning here. It's 11:16. We call this morning on the West Coast, baby.
Nice. I had a wedding last night at 2 a.m. or from midnight to 2 a.m. at Disney.
The wedding started at midnight?
Yeah. They got married over at Animal Kingdom at Pandora, and then they came over. And my official paperwork, when I first got the request, hey, you're going to be at Pandora. I'm like, cool, man. I haven't really actually seen that place. So I'm excited. So I'm at the guard gate at 10:30 last night, banging on the door. Hey, let me in. We don't have you cleared. Sorry. And then I look at my, I start going back through. I'm like, oh, the contract I signed like 6 weeks ago says we're at the boardwalk. I'm like, why would they send it? I was very upset. But then got home, didn't go to sleep till like 5 this morning. Yeah, man, my life is super awesome.
Attaboy.
So yeah, let's get right into this because our guest has to, kind of go and do his thing today.
He's got important things to do, like break more records.
Yeah, right. Record-breaking crew chief. My brain ain't gonna work today. Wow. Crew chief.
It's gonna be one of those shows, folks.
Yeah, for Scrappers Racing. Give it up for Rob Flynn, everybody. Rob.
Hey. You guys doing?
Good, man. How are you?
Great, Rob. How are you?
Doing great, thanks.
You're making all the rounds. This is what happens, after you win like an Oscar or a Super Bowl, you get to make the rounds on all the morning shows. You get the Regis and Kelly here of morning talk shows. Morning drive.
This is the Regis and Kelly of drag racing podcasts. That's for sure.
It's crazy. It's drag racing.
Which one?
Sure. So Rob,
J-Lo's definitely Kelly. Come on, you know that. J-Lo's Kelly.
Look at me. I'm sexy. How's your week been so far, Rob?
Great week. Certainly after the last weekend.
Has it all settled in for you yet? Like, do you wake up every morning and go, "Wow, I'm the baddest crew chief in the sport right now"?
No, we're the baddest team in the sport right now. It's a whole team effort. It's not just one person, and no, it's pretty awesome. I mean, and it kind of grows on you every day because just more and more people are talking to you.
That's pretty cool. So for those of you out there in video land, if you weren't there and you didn't see it, like Jason and I saw it. By the way, we'll talk more about that here in a second, Jason. I was sitting right at the, where I sit in the low zone, and I'm looking at that thing. And here, let's just watch the video one more time. By the way, the only reason why I'm kind of showing this is because I got access this weekend in Charlotte. Yeah, give it up. Watch this.
How about 364 at 338 miles an hour? Mike Salinas just went 300 to the 8th. The first driver ever to go 300 miles an hour at the 8th mile, and he is going to pick up the Phillips Connect bonus. 2.93 seconds, 300 miles an hour at the 8th mile. That's worth cash from Phillips Connect. Congratulations to the Scrappers team down there. That's a milestone everybody's been chasing, and they just got it.
So let me ask you this question. So like Alan said, everybody's been chasing it. Galvin said in Reading, that was when it was going to happen. Obviously, it didn't happen. What about Saturday night in Charlotte made the conditions so perfect for you guys to go out there and get that number?
Well, I think we sat around pretty much all day, and you just keep making little changes. When you have the runs real tight together, you might not think of all the things you could change. And the longer we sat around, the cooler the track got. The less likely of going down the track when it gets really cold like that too. So we've messed up a lot of night runs in the past, and so we tried to not overthink it. And just fix the areas where we were having problems with our setup all weekend, which was too much clutch wear, and the engine parts weren't looking very nice, and it all came together on that run by really not overthinking the whole thing, and just try to make an A to B run, and lo and behold, we pulled that run.
Yeah, that's an A to B run. Like I was going to say, I'm sitting there in the low zone, and I'm pretty much dead down the line with the tree, and I'm watching that thing, and I saw you guys take off. I saw Austin Prock do what he did, and I was like, oh my god, this is it. This is a run. I mean, I didn't know what it was, but I was like, woo, he is moving. I mean, just being there and seeing these, you see the cars go down the track, and like, okay, you kind of get a little blasé, but man, from the get go, that one was moving.
Yeah, no, that run was a thing of beauty, and even on the on the computer screen for our data, it's it's a beautiful run.
That's awesome,
Rob. Yeah, congratulations. I want to ask you. I think it's pretty clear, and then I heard you talking on WFO yesterday that you didn't know right away, and I'm not even sure. Like on the video, we see the replay there, and the first person to you is Adam Cave, who is your car chief, right, or assistant crew chief? I don't know. Yeah. But so Aaron is your co-crew chief, twin brothers. Adam is obviously very ingrained in the Salinas family. He and Jasmine have been together for a long time. Adam's like the first one there. I don't think Adam knew, like at that point, that it had run 300 to the 8th. I think you guys were just excited that you just went out there and lowered the boom on everybody. So like at what point did the whole team figure out like 300 had happened?
Well, really the 4, that would have been Mike's quickest run, and certainly our quickest run as a team too. And then I went over to do, I don't recall who the first interview was. I think Joe was the second one now that I watched it a little bit. But Adam got to me first, and then when I was walking over to do the first interview, Troy Fasching was standing there, and he's mouthing to me, it went 300 to the 8th, and it took a couple minutes to process. And then the questions started flying, and so once I got to Joe, I already knew that, and so I'm just not sure who the first interview was now. It was like a blur right then with all the people grabbing you, and Monica Salinas, and all our little police escort up there, and all that kind of stuff. So it was a incredible moment, that's for sure.
That's great. Yeah, it was. I mean, again, Hannah and I were both up on the stage, and we were like, "Wow, there it was. That was the run." So it was, dude. That was a thing of beauty. Jason, by the way, I didn't hear your voice. You were in the booth. What happened? Did Alan not let you talk?
No. Look, Alan and I have a. I don't even know if it's been spoken, but I think it's pretty obvious agreement that in moments of history, don't do something that's going to make the call sound like neither one of us know what we're doing.
Right.
So Alan saw it right away. I to Alan's credit, sometimes Alan's watching the cars go down the track, and it takes a second to see stuff like that. Alan saw the scoreboard, and as he saw the scoreboard, I watched the run on the TV monitor, which is next to the computer, and my eyes came over to the monitor to see what it ran. I saw the 300. So I was literally like pointing my finger, and you can actually hear it in Alan's voice before he gets to the 300 as he's saying what Mike ran. He's 3.647. And as he's saying 338, you hear his voice go up, because that's about the same time that his eyes came down as my fingers going forward. And he and I saw it at the same time. And Alan needed no help there. He crushed the call. And when Alan got going, I mean, what was I going to say that was going to add to that? I mean, Alan Reinhardt's been the voice of this sport forever. He deserved to have that. We don't need my voice in that. There will be plenty of days and opportunities 30 years from now when, Alan finally has kids and grandkids where I get to look at J-Lo's like, what?
Yeah,
yeah, no, I didn't need to be involved in that. To me, it was just so like, I got chills. Like I was standing there, like I literally got chills when I saw that. That's, for me, that's the first moment. It's funny. I stood on the starting line when Jimmy Prock ran 339 or what, the funny car with Robert Height. But I stood there like with family, right? It was before I worked for NHRA or did announcing or anything. So for me, that's the first like real holy smokes moment that I've been like a part of working,
Yeah.
So for me, that's a moment that I will always remember as being very cool. But Rob, I want to ask you, I don't know a lot of people out there know, or we talk about it very much, but you've obviously been in this sport for a long, long time. Derek Flynn, back before that. I mean, they're going to name tracks after you in Canada when you retire now. So for those who don't know, Rob's Canadian, right? He's part of like great Canadian lineage, him and the Hodgson family and Graham Light and Gordy Bonin. And but your son works in the sport, has grown up kind of in the sport with you. Your daughter is now married into the sport as well. But your son is a track specialist for the Toyota team. Do you remember the first time that like you saw Paul after that moment? Like, did he realize it on the starting line? He obviously had a job to do. There were still more cars of his coming, but did you guys get a chance to embrace on the starting line, or did that come later?
Oh yeah, no, we did on the starting line, and actually that's one of the very first times my wife's ever been up by the starting line too.
Wow!
I thought he was going to say that's the very first time my wife ever embraced me in public. I thought that was coming. That would have been great.
No, so there was a lot going on up there. There was a lot of people from our group for sure, and it was, like I said, it was just an incredible moment to share with all your family up there. Unfortunately, my daughter wasn't there, but she was watching on TV, so that was great also.
What do you guys do with that extra 30 grand? Is that going to go right to parts and pieces, or are we just having a huge blowout party for that one? What I mean, do you even have say in that? I know Mike's the guy, but I would want to have some say.
I think we got to buy more parts. So that was unfortunate, but it just goes in the pot, and just keep the whole train rolling, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, Jason just wanted to know if he got invited to the party. I
just need to get invited.
Just jump to it next time, Jay.
Come
on.
Yeah.
Some kind of party. It's pretty historic to do that. So
right. Good. Yeah. Rob, go win a championship. We'll throw a big party for you on Monday after the finale. How about that?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, win the championship, and not only will there be a big party for you Monday, we won't even charge you for it. We'll invite you down to this casino you get to come to. It'll be great. I promise.
Right.
Yeah. I'll even play music for you.
Yeah.
What?
There's a lot of parity now with all these teams. So we got to slow down the Coletta train now. So, but there's a lot of guys to do that. So it's, it's going to be interesting. I mean, as a fan, hopefully it goes down right to the World Finals with a whole bunch of cars right in the mix. That'll be really exciting then.
Yeah, I got to ask you that your last stop on the tour before Mike Salinas was with the Coletta team, and you kind of came in. It was kind of like a transition period when you came in, and then obviously they went and got Alan Johnson from the Salinas team, and that kind of left you on the outs. It effectively became like a crew chief swap, but you actually inherited the majority of what had been the Alan Johnson, Brian Hewson team. Mike kept that team around for you to kind of come over and work with, which I always think is like an interesting dynamic, right? The Coletta teams had kind of their crew guys forever. But when you came over to the Mike Salinas team, like that obviously had to be, I don't know, like an interesting moment for you at least. Like you're going from Coletta, all these like big factory type of teams. You come to a team that is for the most part self-funded, kind of upstart still, right? Like Mike had his success with Alan Johnson, but definitely still an upstart team. Newer driver, newer organization over there. Could you have imagined when you made that move that we'd be sitting here, a year and a half later and you guys would have collected, a half dozen wins that you have now? You won the Gator Nationals, and now you're etched in this moment in time that we will replay like we did 300 in Gainesville.
Yeah, no, it's incredible. And, and Mike has, the team that's there. A lot of those guys were on Brittany's 2017 championship team with Alan. So they're, it's a really strong team. And I didn't want to be the weak link there, truthfully. And so, but, Mike, he brings out the best in all of us. I mean, he wants to go for it all the time, even when you probably shouldn't. And you have an owner like that will support you to make mistakes. Because let's face it, when you're trying to push the envelope, you're going to make mistakes. And, if you got someone there that's like, come on, let's go for it. And then that's a lot easier if someone's standing behind you to do that. And, we have the team to do that. And, we have the owner standing behind us to do that. We can make mistakes, and we've made plenty, but we've also, made some really good runs in testing that kind of led up to that moment. And so, with the Salinas family backing, and that's been, a wonderful thing. The sky's the limit, I feel like, and the team that we have behind.
I'm going to ask you, Rob, going into, and I'm not trying to get like way too far here because you're focused on trying to win the championship this year. You got 4 races left to win, but I think one of the really unique things about your team on top of all of this, maybe one of the things that's just been kind of overlooked, like this is a single car operation, right? Like there are not many true single car teams out there, but I mean, your track specialists are you guys, right? Like Adam's out there with Jasmine checking the track for you guys. You don't have a technical alliance with somebody like Toyota. You don't have 2 or 3 other team cars. Even Justin Ashley, like that may be JCM Ashley Racing, but they've got Toyota and they've got Antron, and they kind of work as a team, right? Tony Schumacher, while he doesn't have another top fuel car necessarily, has Tim Wilkerson, and they've got Fletch, and you guys don't have kind of any of that stuff, which I find fascinating. It really, I think you and Clay Milliken are the only 2 cars I could think of that consistently compete and don't have somebody else to lean on. Like, how much are you looking forward to having a second car next year with Jasmine, and just how much that extra data helps?
Oh yeah, no, the extra car is a huge thing. I mean, and when we were running Jasmine to get her license, we tried some things that we actually applied on Mike's car, because we just had to make sure it went down the track when she got her license. So we could apply that at some of the tracks where we were maybe struggling with hot track conditions and that. And then as far as all the we're on our own little island, I guess what you call it. We do have a track guy that's named Jake Green, and he actually supplies information for quite a few teams, such as Clay Milliken and that too. So we do have that information. I mean, everyone thinks I get something from my son. I don't get anything from him at all. I mean, Toyota is totally proprietary with their teams and that. So, if we're talking, it's a father and son talk more than anything. So, we just, we can do our own thing. And then when we do get that other car, we'll be able to try some other stuff too. And I think that'll be pretty valuable. And, there's also people that you talk to. I have, other crew chiefs on other teams that maybe are single teams. We can talk about things too. I talked to Brian Karate a little bit. I talked to Guido and some guys like that, Todd Okahara. And they can, if you're having some struggles, I mean, we all share information and stuff like that. It's certainly easier when you're not racing the funny car guys to, for them to share information. But, I feel like we have a really good relationship with Antron Brown's team and stuff like that too. And, in the countdown, we're not sharing anything, but, during the year, we're trying to help each other out a little bit when we're struggling with problems.
That's great. Well, Rob, thank you so much. I know you got to go here, but I got one last question for you. I keep hearing Mike Salinas says, we're going 340. When are we going 340? When's he going to hit that number?
Oh, no pressure, right?
Right.
Everything's got to be perfect on that. And I mean, that run we made was, it seems like it's perfect, but, there's still areas it dropped the cylinder probably about 900 feet. So that's going to negate the 340 right off the bat. And then, the faster you're going, the sooner the NHRA mandated rev limiter comes in too. So it's really hard to keep all 8 cylinders lit when it's, the timing's, rocketing out of there. And, you got to have enough fuel to make the engine happy. And yet you have to have not enough fuel to make it run on 8 cylinders when the timing's coming out of it. So, I think everything's there to do that, but look how long it took for someone to break the 300 to the 8th. David Grubnick and Brittany, they're knocking on that door quite a few times in the 299 range. And, and same with Mike Green. He's run 298, 299 with Justin Ashley's car. Quite a few of these cars are capable. I mean, Antron came right behind us and ran 299. So, if everyone hits it right, and, now we've all got this target, that it's possible to do it. If we get certain conditions this year, it's certainly possible. We're not going to give up on trying to do that. That's for sure.
Gotcha. Well, there you go. Rob Flynn, everybody.
There you go. Rob, thank you. I know you had a tight schedule today, but we appreciate it.
I appreciate it. A lot of fun. Guys,
good luck this weekend.
Yep,
Yeah.
We'll see you out there. Thanks, Rob.
All righty.
All right, that's Rob Flynn, man. God, can you imagine?
That's Rob
340?
Flynn. Well, Rob made a good point, though. Like, Alan and I kind of talked about that, but it's interesting. First off, I think yesterday was the first time that anybody really heard that it dropped a cylinder.
Yeah, no, when he said that, I was like, what?
Yeah, but it did it so late, and that's something that like Alan and I kind of talked about specifically, and we didn't really talk about on the mic very much, but like Rob's right? Like the rev limiter, the problem with going 300 to the eighth is you're accelerating the car so hard that you're going to hit the rev limit sooner. And at some point, that's the great equalizer. It's very similar to the pro stock cars, right? Like everybody's like, oh, when are they going to run 215 again? 214, 215. Like the answer is they're probably not, right? Like they're going to find a way to make the car accelerate sooner, and that's what the top fuel teams have done, which is why you see 300 to the eighth now, right? But it's very hard. Like it kind of sounds counterintuitive. And I think Rob's right. Like, is there a way to make it run 340 to the 1,000 foot and 300 to the eighth? Like, yeah, but like you are literally, that's going to be like the Disneyland home run, right? Like you're going to have to hit it but I mean, like silly as it sounds, I almost think you're going to see a 340 to the 1,000 on a run where the car only runs like 296 to the eighth or 297 because they're going to be accelerating it harder down track type of deal. Like,
right.
And that's the other part too, right? Like the thing that I think we often forget about, I've had people tell me that like, not to say that it's just easy to do, but like 300 to the eighth might have been hit sooner if you didn't care about what it ran to the 1,000 and you didn't care about hurting the car, right? Hurting the motor. Like that's not to say that somebody could have just gone up there and run 300 to the eighth at any moment in time, because you still got to get the car moving, you got to get up on the tire, like all that's got to hit right. But like, could somebody have come out there sooner? And if we were just making an 8th mile run, right? Like, hey, we're only running the cars to the 8th mile. Go run what you can run. Like this weekend's race is a race to the 8th mile. Everything this weekend, the race to the 8th mile. Somebody would have run it sooner, I think.
Sure.
And maybe it would have been Rob, maybe it would have been Grubnick, maybe it would have been 6 or 7 people in the same weekend, somewhere where the conditions were real good. But like, there's a difference between trying to make the car run 660 feet and trying to make it run 1,000 feet and stay under power, right? And if it people are like, yeah, but Phillips put up $30,000, and $30,000 is great. But if like, again, if you go out there and you're like, hey, we're just going for the 30 grand here, and it runs 300 to the 8th, and then it hangs the rods and grenades the thing, well, you just spent 70 grand to make 30. Right. And you lost a run, and you got fined points. Like all that stuff factors in, right?
Yeah.
By
the way, and not to be this guy, and I know I asked Rob about where that money goes, but what happens is that money gone now? The 30 grand's gone. I mean, like if you and I ran 300 to the 8th, do we get 30 grand again?
Yeah, no. The 30 was a first time deal. I'd have to go look at the hey, there's a release out there somewhere. I think there's a cash bonus for the next 7 people behind it. Like there's a club, right?
Okay,
just like
gotcha.
back in the day, we had was it the Krager 200 or 300 club? One of them. I don't know. We had a bunch of people who sponsored clubs back in the day, right? I remember Krager being one of them. But we had the 300 club in Nitro, and we had the 200 club in Pro Stock, and Pro Stock Motorcycle, I think, even had a 200 mile per hour club. So we have a 300 to Phillips Connect has a 300 to the 8th club. Mike signed that board. He was the first one on it. I think there's 8 people on it. I'm pretty sure all 8 get a bonus of some sort when those other 7 drivers get there. It's definitely not 30 grand, right?
Right. Yeah.
But I don't, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they don't. Maybe they just get a jacket and a cool plaque or something. But there's a club for it, which I think is cool because I mean, I remember like this was back before you were probably in drag racing, right? But like I remember back in the in the early 90s, when I was growing up, like that was a thing, right? Like being part of the clubs was a big deal. Pro stock going 200, nitro going 300, like, running in the fours, like you being part of that club was a really cool thing. I
Sure.
think there was a club for running in the sixes in pro stock at one point, maybe even bikes. So, I think that's cool. I definitely think there are enough smart people out there who are going to go back, look at that run. They're going to analyze it. They're going to look at the incrementals. They're going to figure out where Mike's car ran really well on that run. And when we get to Dallas, depending on what the weather looks like, the weather's the great equalizer. But I wouldn't be surprised if we add another car or two into that club at Dallas. Like Dallas to me is the next shot. St. Louis is going to, and I'm not going to be there this weekend, so I'm hoping it doesn't happen because I want to see them all. But St. Louis, I think it's going to be too warm.
Yeah, it looks like upper 80s. So we'll figure that out. All right, so we're 2 races into the countdown, and I'm about ready to kill people at the racetrack. Not joking. This is a full-blown situation for me. I try to stay positive, bro.
We're talking about define people here.
I'm just talking about. I'm not, dude. All right. I will say this. Sometimes I get a little irked at the fans when they yell at me. They did a Norwalk.
Never mind. I'm not going to make you totally rat out, but I do have a memory now.
Yeah.
I do have a memory now of a certain rant you might have gone on while I may or may not have been on a microphone.
Yeah, but listen, this one's about just employees, just whole situation. Listen, it first started with me. It all starts like today's Wednesday. I got to do laundry. I got to go pick my kid up from soccer. I got to do a bunch of stuff, right? Now, It didn't help by me going to bed at 5 a.m. last night and didn't wake up until 11. It doesn't help. But it all starts for me. Like my flight's at 9:15 tomorrow. Go to Charlotte to St. Louis, right? I get in by like 1 o'clock. Last week, and like I'm obnoxious about my flights, and I will go on and I will try and move my seat around possibly if I'm too far back. I'm in boarding group 4 on American, so it's not horrible. But so my flight last week, I basically was in a row by myself, and there was maybe 8 seats available. I wasn't a row by myself. There was a seat in between me and the person on the window, and I always sit on the aisle. Well, I guess American needs to fill these planes to get people moving. Because they immediately showed they filled every available space. Okay, fine. That's your right as an airline carrier, and you can do whatever you want. But the people, and Joe Costello gave me grief about this because I didn't say anything, but this is my time to say stuff. Travel in America has gotten crazy, probably all over the world. But listen, when you're on a plane, don't just think about yourself. Think about everyone else on the plane. So these people come on the plane. They're like dead last. There's like a couple, and they've got roll-ons, right? They brought their luggage on. If you were dead last on a plane, chances are there's not going to be an overhead space. and you're going to have to check your bag. I don't care what you say. You're going to have to check your bag. We spent a good 5 to 8 minutes trying to figure out where we could put our bags on this plane. And to the flight attendant's credit, they were trying, as opposed to just give me your bag, sit your ass down and shut up, right? No, they were trying to find it. And I'm like, you're the last ones on the plane. Check your bag. So sorry, you got to deal with it. Well, then all of a sudden, these are the people that got in my row. I'm going to show you. I have pictures of this stuff.
Wow. Public shaming. Life's a drag. Public shaming edition. All right.
Passenger shaming, I am not afraid to do. So this is the couple that gets on next to me. So
okay,
I'm not a small guy, but but the dude, first off, the smaller person goes in the middle. End of story. I don't care if it's husband, wife, whatever. Smaller person goes in the middle.
Okay.
I mean, but this is the 58,000th flight where the husband and wife. I'm going to sit in the window.
In fairness, first off, happy wife, happy life. Second off, it looks like he's crowding her too.
Let me tell you something. This couple, she could not shut up. She was narrating everything she saw out the window. The husband was
with a mask on.
Oh yeah. No, she's looking.
See, that's what would have annoyed me because it would have been muffled. It'd been like,
Well, it kind of was.
It's the Mississippi River. The Mississippi. Honey, it's the arch. It's the Gateway Arch.
So this guy.
Look, I found the F-35. It's right there. I don't know why the government can't find it. I see the F-35.
So this guy, he was done with it. He looked straight ahead the entire time.
Look at the look on his face.
Yeah, he is a beaten down man. He is just like, dude, I cannot deal with this woman anymore. She's like, yeah, just like you're saying. Oh my God, look at that. Is that the Okeechobee? It was constant for an hour. Where did we go? Oh, was I direct? No, yeah, we're to Charlotte. It's an hour in the air. Okay. So, and to the point, that's why I was going. Now, I took this picture while we were pulling up to the gate. You see her hand there? She's clipping her fingernails.
Oh no!
And by the way, when I say you hear the click, click,
what?
And shrapnel is flying off of this lady's fingers. I was like, what on God's green earth? I saw one go up and over the chair in front of her. I was like, what is your effing malfunction? What? Why? And then she kind of nicked her skin. Ooh, I got my skin on that one. That one's a little. I was like, good for you. You should not be clipping your fingernails and having your fingernail clippings fly everywhere. What is the matter with people on airplanes?
Yeah. This is where you and I differentiate, by the way.
Why?
Totally where you, because I would have hit the button, and when the flight attendant walked up, and I was like, ma'am, I don't really mean to like alarm anybody here, but the lady in the window seat over there, I think she just said she has a bomb.
Yeah, see, I'm afraid to say things like that because I'm going to be the one. Anyways,
the lady in the window seat says she has SARS. SARS.
That's why she's wearing a mask.
I thought SARS went out of style after COVID, but she said she has SARS.
Something like that. Maybe it's Asian bird flu. I don't know. Right. Anyways,
what was the virus outbreak? Hold on, now I got to look that up.
So that was on my way there, and on the way back, I got a picture of these guys, but we don't need to see them. These two people next to me across the aisle, drunker than Cooter Brown. The guy could not. He was talking. They were talking so loud, and he is now hiccuping. You know how like we get that drunker. Right. I was like, oh my God, this guy is shit faced, hammered. But that's that. So that was that. That's what got me a little wound up, right? And Joe and
this was going to the races.
Going to the race. So Joe and I were talking about this yesterday. We had or the other day. It's like we think ZMAX might be haunted because everyone was on the chip this weekend. Every single person that worked out there, like. There are people that do some stuff that bring me things and, have done that all season long. And I always say, please, thank you. Whatever I can do for you, thank you very much. They were like, bro, here's your stuff. Enjoy. Or like, hey, man, turn that microphone down because you're going to blow my speaker. It was like, I get it, bro. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to get out of the way. But everybody, bro, I was fired up. The rain did not help.
No.
Charlotte, no. And we've talked about this in the past with our show contributor, Allie Bland.
I like
this.
That.
Is, I mean, you know
she
how
needs to add that to her Twitter account. Official Life's a Drag contributor.
Yeah, by the way, Kelly Crandall said she was going to call in, and she hasn't. You know what? I'm gonna put this. I'm gonna put this up here in the thing. So maybe she's watching, going, "Hey, why can't I call in?"
Hey, I think she knows how to do that. But
yeah, but I gotta give her this. There we go. In the thing. Hey, if you want to call in, feel free. First time caller. There you go. Anyway,
first time, long time. This is gonna be like the Dan Patrick show.
Right.
5'8", 165.
Yeah. Ding ding ding. So we play games in the media center to pass time, and it rained like it normally does in Charlotte. And this is one of the games we play, which everybody was shocked to realize that I am the master at. Ready? Here you go.
Oh.
Look how good J-Lo is at it.
Yes. Because this is
How do you not know how to play this game?
Come on, Joe. You've never played this before? No. What? This is a dumb game.
How do you not know
Where
how this
I'm
game
from,
works?
We just try to hurt each other.
Play Jacob. Go ahead. Okay.
Very quick. That's you're quick. That's great. I'm not even looking at her. Yeah, no.
Do it. Go ahead.
Oh, look at these mitts. There's so much surface area, he'll never get one.
That's how he destroyed Z-Max Dragway.
Yeah, big old Jacob.
Going into the wall is my favorite part.
All 6'6" of that dude rolls in there. I literally thought he put a hole in the wall. I was like, bro, you got.
It sounded like he did. I was in the other room when that happened, and I went,
what's going on over there?
I literally like.
Yeah,
Jacob.
but and then so we were
Z-Max
there.
is the home. Look, Z-Max is the home of the world famous Sarah Slaughter WTF forecast reading session from the spring, which we got a chance to reincarnate this weekend, thanks to Mother Nature's never ending attempt to squash drag racing. But it's great,
dude. How many more races we got? 4?
Nikki Sheely taught me this great new baseball game that her and I played for like 20 minutes. It was awesome.
She loves baseball.
She does. I love baseball.
But how many more races do we have? 4 more?
4. You have 4. I have 3.
Dallas,
Vegas,
and Pomona. Okay, dude, bro. I said to Mike Rice, I got in there early on Sunday, and I go, can this season just be over? Do you have any power just to declare it done? Because I'm done.
You know what would be great about that? Doug Coletta would be the world champion. It'd be great.
He would be. But yeah, dude.
Look, no offense to the rest of the Top Fuel field, okay?
Right.
No offense. But Doug Coletta would be the world.
He's due.
Come on.
He's due.
Is there anybody out there? Look, here's the deal. This is real talk, okay? If you are out there rooting for anybody other than Doug Coletta to win the Top Fuel World Championship, and your paycheck is not directly tied to a different car winning the World Championship in Top Fuel specifically, I don't like you.
I was just going to say, unless you're getting paid by somebody else, you got.
I don't care if you're getting paid by Tony Stewart Racing, but you work on the funny car. You should be like, yeah, Lee, I really hope you finish second. Like, no offense. I know that you're in house, but like, finish second, Like if you work on John Force's car, like Brittany, finish second. Austin, be third. Like, somebody just let Doug win. And I'm not saying like let him win, but like, can we please, like, this is like, I feel like we're at Daytona for the 22nd year, right? Or whatever. 20 years of trying, 20 years of frustration. Like, Reinhardt and Lone's going to have some sort of line like that they've been rehearsing, like Mike Joy did for 7 years for Dale Earnhardt winning the 500, right? Like, the whatever line that all the IndyCar guys had for when Michael Andretti finally won the Indy 500 that he never actually won. So they never got to recite it. But like, Lones and Allen, if I were Lones or Allen, I would literally, I'd be spending every hour of the day that I'm not at the racetrack, like refining what exactly I'm going to say in that moment that we're going to replay for the next 500 years when Doug Coletta finally wins the championship.
Yeah, it'll be good. I mean, he's, 2 wins in a row. 2 countdown wins in a row.
He's 60 plus points out right now. That's a sizable lead after 2 races to the playoffs when you came into the playoffs and not the points leader. Like,
by the way, I was looking at pro stock points. Erica's 2 down, and for number 1 qualifiers both races, and then to just not do anything. Like I heard somebody say, like, after we beat Hartford on what day, or I guess on race day, we beat Hartford. Oh yeah, we're good. We got a good shot at winning this. And I'm like, okay. And then next round, not so much.
Well, she hasn't been to a final, so
but she's been to semifinals and number 1 qualifiers. Don't you get points being number 1 qualifier?
You do, but you get points per round. It's got nothing to do with the number 1 qualifier. Okay. It's where you're at each round. But like Hartford's picked up some points along the way. For instance, Saturday night during the whole rain delay fiasco, Hartford picked up 3 to Erica's 1. So there's your difference in the points right now. Erica's 4 back the way, which I had to double check that because I thought that was right. Hartford won Reading, so he's got an extra round on every.
Well, yeah, that's what I
got to remember that.
That's what I mean. And I'm like, okay, but those guys, like for
Andy was
everybody-
Andy was ahead of her coming in, so he's got to win, and he was ahead of her coming in. Erica needed to go to the final.
Yeah. I just think for everybody, crapping on Erica at the beginning of the season, even her included. I mean, look at them; they're 2 points behind, 4 points behind. I was and then for Greg Anderson to win, I mean, he's going to work his way back in the mix. Come on, man, this pro stock's
he's 61 back. He's 61 back.
But yeah,
look,
so
Kyle Koretsky is 99 back in 8th place and went to the finals in Reading. Like pro stock's tight right now.
Very tight. Yes. That's why I like pro stock.
Yes.
It's just fun. It goes down to the wire. But yeah, so
pro stock motorcycle on the other hand,
nah, we're done with that.
I will tell you this: there is a rumor. There's a rumor going around, and it's not on the entry list that way, but that doesn't mean squat. There is a rumor going around that Chip Ellis was, I don't know if he wasn't available or maybe just wanted to take the weekend off or what. But on the Matt Smith Racing blocker bike, shall we call it, this weekend, that Joey Gladstone's going to be on that bike.
Really?
Joey Gladstone's on the entry list, but so is Corey Reed. They usually don't run 2 bikes together right now because they're just kind of get back in the swing of things. And there's a hot rumor going around that Joey Gladstone is going to be on Matt Smith's bike. I would just tell you right now, I didn't hear it from Joey, Corey, or Matt. So if any of them get mad at me, I've got my own sources. You'll never know. I won't tell. And I won't be in St. Louis, so you can't yell at me anyways. But if that comes to fruition, and it's a little too late to change the entry list because it's Wednesday afternoon, yeah, that would be fun.
I love it. Yeah, well, I saw that they're both going to be running. They're both on the entry list, so that'll be good. So look at you. Rumors have it.
Hey,
yeah.
Connections. We got connections.
So you're going, where are you going to go where are you going to be this weekend? I know you're got a wedding, but where's this wedding?
Dude, it's in Southern California.
Oh, okay. No big deal.
Dude, it's Jake Sundstrom's wedding. Like #, old national dragster folks. My first ever roommate at an NHRA race that I worked. Reading, 2019.
He was my roommate a couple times. We were
Big
roommates
Jake fan.
in Sonoma the first time, and they're like, hey, you're rooming with Jake. I go, who's Jake? I don't know who these people are. I just know Joe Costello. And I walk in, he's in there working. I go, hey, dude, what's up? That's always a fun, like you don't know who they are. You never met them, but guess what? You get to sleep 3 feet away from each other.
So true story. So let me tell you this story. This is people who enjoy the life on the road story here, right? So Jake, Thursday night, Reading 2019. Reading 2019 was the first race that NHRA for paid me to come to, right? Like travel and all that stuff. So flying to Philly, it's late, right? Like I come from LA to Philly. You would be surprised, but there's not a lot of direct flights early in the day. And by the way, even an early in the day direct flight lands you in Philly pretty late. Because if you get on a 6:30 a.m. flight out of LAX, it's 5+ hours to Philly. I mean, it's now 5 o'clock in the afternoon in Philly when you land, right? Because of the time change and everything. Right. And then Philly traffic around the airport sucks at traffic time. And, so I got into Philly at 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock at night or something. And then, got in and I went up to the room, dropped my stuff off. Jake wasn't there. Went downstairs. Joe was at the bar and was the only person I really knew at the time. Right. And, went down with Joe. Joe's introducing me to people. We sat at the bar till, I don't know, 11 o'clock or something. All right, everybody go to bed, whatever. I go to bed. Jake is back in the room, but he's out cold. So lights are off. So I still haven't met my roommate who's now asleep in the bed next.
Yeah.
Next morning, I got to be at the track at, the shit at dawn because I got to be there when the first car goes down the track. It's my first race. I'm I don't know how far, it's 20 minutes away, whatever. I got up at 6. We're running cars at 8:30 and I was at the track at 7:15. Right. And, still haven't met Jake. Probably walked by him 6 times at the track on Friday. Still haven't met him. So the first time I actually met him was Friday night after when I went back to the room to like change before we went to dinner or something. Like, true story.
Bro, that happened to me in Vegas one year, 2017. I don't know. And they're like, "Oh yeah, you're rooming with the IT guy, whatever his name was at the time." And I'm like, "Who? Why am I rooming?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, and he's been here since Tuesday." And I roll in on Thursday. I don't meet this guy. I don't see his face because it's Vegas. I'm gonna do my Vegas thing. You've seen what that looks like.
I've felt it. Yes.
Yeah. And I come in every night. He's out. He leaves before I even think about possibly waking up. It was Sunday morning, and this guy at our hotel, our room was on the side where the sun was coming up, and he's got the window at like 6:30 in the morning, wide open. Sun is coming in like it's noon, and he's on the phone talking to his girlfriend. I don't know, whatever. He's talking this loud. Yeah, I know. I had to do this. It's going to be a long day. And I'm like, who the F is talking this loud? What is going on? It was Sunday.
I'm still drunk.
I was like, why are you? There was a definite conversation. I will never be. I can't room. I have to room with the third announcer if at all possible. And thank God you came rolling around because you and I are at least on the same schedule.
Oh yeah. No, the Galvin Logan schedule works out well.
Yeah. But yeah, we get who do we get? We get Chris Monahan this weekend, right?
You get Chris Monahan this weekend. Yeah. Like Chris Monahan. He's done national events before. He's the Division 4 announcer. So have no fear, NHRA fans. Life will be good. You will go on without me. You get to hear his southern drawl because he's got a really deep voice.
He got a little
he's from
drawl.
Dallas. He's from Houston, actually. I said Dallas. He'll shoot me if I say he's from Dallas. But hey, speaking of Dallas, let's go to Dallas after that. And there's a hot rumor going around that Chris Monahan may be hanging out with us in Dallas too.
You are like
on
the
top
rumor
of all
mill.
of us.
Look at you go.
On top of the rest of us. Like we may actually get a fourth announcer at Dallas.
Well, look at you.
Which would be awesome. Also, there's a really hot rumor going around that Chris Monahan, who's like, it turns out makes some really effing good barbecue food. So I'm told. I've never had it, but I've seen 100 pictures and everybody raves about it. Is bringing barbecue food at my request to Dallas. In fact, he already has the order in, so that's not a hot rumor; it's a truth. We're gonna get some real good Texas barbecue.
I love it,
Chris Monahan. I'm excited.
Have you been to that Dallas track and worked?
No. I was supposed to work Dallas and Houston in 2020, and I don't know if you've heard this or not, but 2020 got slightly derailed for everybody on planet Earth. Yeah, I know.
I don't know.
In case you were sleeping through 2020. I have been to the great state of Texas a couple of times, but never for a drag race. I'll tell you the one thing I'm a little sad about. My family, Pat and everybody goes to that race usually every year because Billy Meyer owns the track and they're all buds and they all go and hang out and Billy's sweet and all that stuff, whatever. Well, for whatever reason this year, the Hot Rod reunion, I'm doubly upset. The Hot Rod reunion, which has been renamed the Wally Parks Nostalgia Nationals up here at Bakersfield, famoso, got moved in the schedule. They used to always be the weekend before Halloween. And for some reason this year, it is the same weekend as Dallas. So not only am I upset about that because I can't go to it, and it's one of my favorite events of the year to just go and hang out, and my nostalgic guys will always be like my family and my first love in drag racing from an announcing standpoint. And so not only am I pissed off that I don't get to go to the race at my home track and see all my buddies, but Don Perdome is the Grand Marshal this year. And Don Perdome asked Pat and Donnie and all those guys to come to Bakersfield. And if Don Perdome asks, then you do. So none of them are going to Dallas. So I was like,
you'll be
first time I get to go to Dallas. Yeah, so now I'm stuck with you. Jesus Christ.
By the way,
and Monahan now it sounds like, and Joe, and I'm just like,
all right, yeah, but Joe's the master of ceremonies. He's like PT Barnum there now.
That's why I think that's why Chris Monahan might be, because Joe is literally like, I'm going to be on my. By the time we run a NHRA car on Friday, I'm going to be on my
12th day,
7th or 8th straight day of working. Yeah, he's got 12 straight days of working there. Yeah,
it's
good for Joe. It's great.
Yeah, of course.
It's great.
That's good. Hey, by the way, you were talking about your family. Did JJ get an envelope for me?
No.
What?
Not yet.
Oh, boy. There might be some furniture moving around this house.
Yeah. Does it involve your wife's bed going out back or what?
Possibly. If she did not send that, watch this text. This is what happened. So we got Life's a Drag stickers, and I totally forgot to bring them to Charlotte.
Wait,
And
yeah.
so then I texted my loving wife. I said, "Hey, can you send some stickers to JJ Galvin? Here's his address. Can you send those, please?" This was Friday at like 10 in the morning. Yes.
Well, if she sent them, in fairness, if she sent them like Friday afternoon or Saturday morning, it's only Wednesday morning here. You live on the other side of the earth from me.
It's not like I live on the moon. I mean, what are we talking
You live
about?
in Florida.
We're gonna see. Hold on, please. Please hold. I just sent her a text. Did you send those stickers? She's in the other room. I'm sure the laundry room is kind of separating the Low Zone Studios and her. Let's see what she says. But anyways, so I felt bad because Jason was like, "Oh, I told JJ he was gonna get stickers."
Well, I did look so.
No,
here's the
I
deal.
love it.
You tweeted the picture, and then we
I
had
know.
like 100 fans who I didn't know that we even had fans who were like, "Oh my god, I want one! Can you bring them to Raises X, Y, Z?" There were people in Charlotte who wanted them last weekend. We owe Kelly Crandall one, by the way, so you need to mail her one. Yeah, and then like people who want them in St. Louis, so please don't forget them, right? And like all these people, and so then I was like, "Oh, that's cool." So I pulled the picture up that you tweeted of all the stickers, and I showed it to JJ, and I was like, "Buddy, you want something really cool?" And he was like, "What?" And I pulled it up, and I was like, "Look, Daddy." I said, "Who's that?" And he goes, "Oh, that's Daddy." I went, "Yeah, Daddy and Jason had stickers made," and he goes, "Daddy, I want one." And I went, "Okay, buddy." When he goes, "I want to put it on my water bottle and take it to school. That way my water bottle is cool and I can show all my friends at school."
I didn't care.
Word for word.
I didn't
Word
care
for
if any of these other people got one. That right there was like, I'm sending JJ one.
Yep.
And cool. I mean, how old's your kid? Like 3, 4?
He'll be 5 next.
5.
Jesus
How many
Christ, he'll be 5 in 2 weeks.
Yeah, how many 5-year-olds get mail sent to them? Not very many. I'm sure your grandparents do it.
Right.
But yeah, I felt super horrible about it. And so I have them. They're in my backpack now. I'm telling you what, this is going to be exciting. She has yet to respond to my text. This is going to get good. This is going to get good. This is going to get so good. By the way, speaking of Kelly Crandall, if you haven't not listened to her podcast, listen to it. I don't have absolutely no idea. I have no idea what it's called, but she's got a really good podcast. So it's always fun to see.
It's called the Racing Riders Podcast. I have no idea what it's called, but it's really good. It's called the Racing Riders Podcast. Her most recent guest, unless there's been a new one posted yesterday today, which I may not have seen yet, was Curtis. Kurt Spittler, an videographer extraordinaire. But she's had some great ones on there. Her conversation with Jasmine Salinas was really, really good. I think she had Courtney Enders on earlier this year, if I recall. It was really, really good.
Jason Galvin and Jason Logan are available. We're available to be on somebody else's podcast. What the heck? I don't know if that's actually going to happen because I was solving again when I was so on the chip. My ego was I was so freaking obnoxious and narcissistic and whatever this weekend. So Kelly Crandall comes walking into the media center and she walks kind of right past me to her seat, and I'm like, "Hey, Kelly Crandall, hey, Kelly, hi, Kelly, hi," and in that tone of voice, that loud, anybody, their brother in the fourth row could have heard me say that. She just walks right by and sits down. I go, "Hey, Kelly, did you hear me say hello?" And she's like, "Listen, I'm very anxious. I got to get to my seat. I got to keep my head down. I got to get here. I got to get settled. I don't want to talk to people. You know, it kept talking about anxiousness, right?" Well, then that prompted me to come up with my $1 million idea, which is this was me over the top ego, everything. I'm going to cure the world of anxiousness. I'm going to become the Tony Robbins of getting rid of anxiousness, where you don't need things. And I'm going to make and we were getting into the weeds on this. I just never positive. And I go, that's what this whole thing, boot camp's going to be about. Positivity. I'm going to shower you with positivity. I'm going to build you up and make you the strongest woman ever. And I go, "Hannah, you're involved too. Get over here." And then they were like, "Well, what else is going to happen at this boot camp?" I really have massages. It's going to be like a day of beauty with positivity. I go, we're going to have a healthy, nutritious lunch. There'll be amazing snacks.
All right, that's where you lost everybody.
Right. I was like, I was going down the road. They're like, how much are you going to charge for this? I go, well, you two can be free because, you'll be the first two. And I need some spokespeople and you people.
Proof of concept.
Yeah, proof of concept. I'm gonna make this happen, so you won't have to be anxious anymore. Like when somebody honks at you and you don't want to look over, and you feel like you might have cut them off, but you didn't. Instead of just sitting there all tense and nervous in your car, you're gonna look over and yell at them and flick them off and go, "You shut the ass!" And you're gonna have that kind of confidence once you leave this program.
Hey, Mama Galvin wants you to know my mail hasn't come yet. She's probably right. I highly doubt my mail.
Okay,
yeah.
Well.
I would do an impersonation of my mom, but my mom's she sounds normal, and I also wouldn't want to shit on your impersonation of your mom, which is the greatest impersonation of all time. So
we got to get her on. She's working all week. I thought about bringing her on today, but she's
give me one Mrs. Logan.
Well, hold on. Let me read you a text that she sent during the rain delay.
God, yes,
this is so good.
This is why people tune into this podcast.
So again, my mom has become a huge drag racing fan because her little boy is on TV every once in a while, and she could see it because she's got NHRA.TV. But I'm not her favorite on the broadcast. It's Joe Costello, and she gets upset when Jason Galvin and myself and Alan Reinhart give him a hard time. So he goes, "All right, hold on, let me see, find a good one." All right, here we go. This started on Saturday at 2:30. Hi, why does Skag have the little stand over there? They sit to the right of the starting line. It's always Skag employees. I say it's part of the sponsorship deal. Then 5:25. It's now raining. We're running Insider Podcasts. We're running all kinds of stuff. And this is going to be so horrible. But she sends this text after the Doug Coletta part of the Insider Podcast happened. She says, "Oh, where'd it go?" She goes, "Hey, rain delay is very boring. They pick the dullest people to talk to." I'm like, Mom. I go, "That's Doug Coletta. Leave him alone." And then she goes, but this is great. My mom actually pays it. "Hey," you have to start her impersonation with "hey" every time. "Hey, well, during the rain delay, I found out I can enter a street legal event if I go to the track that is a member of the NHRA. I got to find out if I can race my car. Rain delays boring me to death." Dude, my mom's in all day long.
How old is your mom?
70. She'll be 77.
Imagine a 77-year-old Mrs. Logan, like, dude, driving up, like open phase helmet, like buckling it in, like,
oh yeah, could you
hot
imagine?
Coffee in her hand, like rolling.
Dude, she would totally do it. She's got a RAV4. She'd get out there, dial that thing in, figure it out. And then if she felt that the light was wrong, or she felt she was wronged in any way, shape, or form, her top end interview.
She's gonna be one of those. She's gonna be one of those.
Oh, but you think Erica has some bad topic? My mom would be able to. "Hi, I don't know what's going on with this NHRA and that Christmas tree, but that thing was wrong. I know I left on."
I love Erica's top end interviews. She's honest.
Oh, I do too.
About her feelings.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
But my mom would get up there and drag everyone through the dirt. "Hi, this Evan Joe. I don't understand what you people are doing out there. You know that T-shirt can't. You need to get enough T-shirts for everybody out here to have one, so everybody has something."
You sound like Evan Jonat now.
Well, yeah, but let me tell you something. My mom would fix the NHRA's problems in 2 seconds. I'm telling you, she knows how to do things.
My mom wants to come to the races with your mom, just so you know. She's texting me right now.
Oh my God, let's go. We need to.
We should have a Life's a Drag Mother's Edition podcast where we just let the two of them rant. It'd be great.
Yeah. Oh, you would hear every dumb story that my mom had. Oh, by the way, speaking of dumb stuff like nostalgia, so I moved into this house probably 6-7 years ago. Before the show, I'm checking Facebook. I get a Facebook direct message that says, "Please hold." I'm like, "What the heck?" I go, "This is absolutely ridiculous."
Says, "Please hold." That's a weird message.
It says, "Hey man, I live in your old house. Just cleaned out the attic and found a lot of your old stuff. Some high school memories and pics. If you want them back, we can meet up." If not, I'll just toss it. This is what this dude found in the. I got a story about this too. Look at all this. Look how handsome Jason Logan looked right there back in the day.
That's you?
Yep. And then if you zoom in on that soccer
God,
team
what
picture-
happened?
Yeah, right. I started eating and drinking. If you zoom in on that
Student handbook.
from 1986, what? But yeah, all this was upstairs in my attic, and I sent my kids up in the attic when we were moving. I said, "Hey, get all that stuff out of there. Throw it all down." Did you get it all? After about 4 hours of bitching and moaning, yeah, we got it all. Yeah, all this stuff is here. By the way, the picture above that one of me, above that 8th grade dance with my girlfriend. Boom.
Wow.
Anyways, and he goes, yeah, there's a couple other things up here. There's some clothes and some books. I'm like, what? I go, you jackasses didn't get anything out of there. But yeah, so there's all kinds of stuff there that I'm like, yeah, I probably could throw that away. But then I went, maybe I should keep it. I don't know. But yeah, so yeah, dude, my mom has all kinds of fantastic stories, as she can tell, and just drag me through the mud.
Yeah, my mom probably could too, which is maybe why we should reserve that podcast for some other time.
Maybe we'll tape it. Maybe we'll
That's a good
record it.
idea. Yeah, we can edit it.
So there you go. So you're
All
not
right,
going to be in St. Louis.
No,
I'm going to be
I
there.
won't. Have fun.
Let's see if let's see if I calm down, because I got a connecting flight. I don't know, dude. I really don't know if I'm going to make it to the end of the rest of the season.
Yeah.
I can't. I don't know. I don't know.
I think you'll be okay. You'll be okay.
It's wearing me down, Jason Galvin, wearing me down. So if you see me out there, just be nice, because I'm probably having a bad day. And I got to go do laundry.
Go do laundry. Skedaddle. I gotta go. I don't, but my wife does sometimes. Yeah.
Okay. I got the Downy beads that you throw in the cap and throw in. My wife's like,
I think we have those now.
That smells too perfumey. I go, I enjoy the smell because I don't want my clothes to stink, i.e. me stink.
Yeah.
Anyways, all right, Jason.
I'm gonna go pick JJ up. Have fun. Safe travels.
Let me know if you got those stickers, because me and my wife are gonna go have a nice little conversation.
I will let you know.
All right. All right, brother. Thank you so much. Everybody, enjoy your weekend, or the rest of your week, and then your weekend. Just think of us as we're traveling on Thursday. Jason Galvin will be partying it up at a wedding. Proud of him. And then we'll see him in Dallas. See all this stuff. All right. We'll talk. I kind of want to know about this wedding, so we maybe have a podcast.
Yeah, we're in.
All right, cool. All right, thanks, guys. Have a great day.